The doors to the Viridian Tea House are open once more. Hello everyone, it's another video and I've got some incredible books to talk about, all written by women authors, yes. And I'm also going to talk about a new tea blend through my tea company. So if you're ready, let's do this. Let's see, any news? I'm going to be a vendor at 2 events in May, and when I have more information, I'll talk about it here on the Viridian Tea House. And farmers market season is coming up in June, and I'm going to be doing 2 farmers markets, one in Golden and one in Evergreen. So I'm looking forward to seeing old friends and new faces and to sell my wares, of course. So my glasses are fogging up. The first book is through my tablet, and this author is a friend of mine, and she is one hell of a mystery author. And when make sure I get the screen on here, there we go. When I first learned about her books, I was like, okay, I really want to read her books. But time got away from me, and I have reading ADD or something, where I'll see like 20 other books that I need to read, and then I'm supposed to read 20 others. So when I finally got down to reading this book, I was blown away by it. It's a solid, excellent mystery. If you're into murder mysteries, especially dealing with exotic locations, then say hello to Death in the Aegean, an intrepid traveler mystery by M.A. Monnin. And I love the cover artwork. I love the story. It is a solid murder mystery. So let me see if I can get to, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Uh-oh, well, shoot. Let's see if I can get to, oh wait, here we go. Well, here's some praises for the book. Let's see, M.A. Monnin takes readers on a fabulous adventure filled with history, mystery, and a heady hint of sensuality. I couldn't put the book down. And that was by Agatha Award-winning and USA Today best-selling author Ellen Byron. Highly suspenseful and chock full of wonderful charm, Death in the Aegean by M.A. Monnin has it all. A mystery of epic proportions, the theft of a priceless gold statue, a shocking murder, and a love story that will keep you guessing. Add in riveting trips into ancient Greek history, that was a big bonus for me, and Santorini and Crete, and you have a novel that will keep you riveted to your reading chair. I loved it. And that was Gail Lynn's, New York Times bestselling author of The Assassins. So yes, if you're looking for, I was trying to find the synopsis. Let me see if I can still find it while I'm talking. But I just remember that I was not able to put down the book, honestly. And Death in the Aegean. There we go. Let's see if I can get it. Yes. Got it. But yes, it was a murder mystery that I could not put down. There's 3 books in the series. I'm not sure if she's going to write a 4th one, but I loved it. So let me read the synopsis for you. There we go. When private banker Stephanie Adams takes a much-needed vacation to the Greek Isles, vowing to embrace opportunities as they come, instead of finding romance and adventure, she is suspected of murdering a bride who accused her deceased father of an artifact theft. Unfortunately, the newlyweds' accusation also ties Stephanie, a former archaeology student, to the robbery of a newly discovered Minoan statue, the golden Akrotiri snake goddess. I love anything dealing with archaeology. I love it. With 2 high-profile crimes to solve, Greek police are under pressure, and both crimes lead straight to Stephanie. To avoid Greek prison and maintain her career, Stephanie must identify which of her fellow travelers is the real killer. Between the light-fingered backpacker with an eye on the bride's jewelry, the travel blogger whose career the dead woman ruined, a flirtatious German tourist who is after more than romance, and the long-suffering bridegroom, Stephanie's task won't be easy. Everyone, it seems, had a motive for wanting to see the last of Emma Keller. Stephanie's investigation entangles her in a web of danger and intrigue, international crime, and long-buried secrets. When she herself becomes a target, Stephanie doesn't know who to trust. As charming Thomas Burkhart warns, where greed leads, murder follows. And yes, it reminded me of one of those action adventure murder mystery movies from the 80s, like Romancing the Stone, where, you've got love and intrigue and artifacts and deception and funny moments and not so funny moments. But all in all, a well done, well wrapped up story. And I enjoyed it. I love, I'm kind of late to the game with murder mysteries. But the ones that I've read so far, there have been some that were kind of like, just not my thing. But others, like Death in the Aegean, perfect. Absolutely perfect reading, perfect story, perfect characters. I really did. The romance with Stephanie, I just kind of thought, okay, I guess it's that slow burn kind of romance, but I did really like it. So Murder in the Aegean, since my tablet just died on me again, Murder in the Aegean by M.A. Monnin does receive 5 pots of excellent tea from Viridian Tea House. You can purchase the book through Amazon. You can either get it on your Kindle or in book format. I just chose the tablet because I love the tablet. But Mary, if you're watching this video, I truly enjoyed reading Death in the Aegean, and I cannot wait to get the second and the third book so I can review them here. And if you're interested in a tea blend, call me. All right, so the next book is by an author that I've been meaning to read for some time. And when I finally discovered her book at Denver Public Library, yay libraries, I said, okay, well, I'll give it a shot. And, well, let me just show you the book. This is Sleepless Nights by Elizabeth Hardwick, and this is published through New York Review of Books. So let me read the back of it for you. In Sleepless Nights, a woman looks back on her life, the parade of people, the shifting background of place, and assembles a scrapbook of memories, reflections, portraits, letters, wishes, and dreams. An inspired fusion of fact and invention, this beautifully realized, hard-bitten, lyrical book is not only Elizabeth Hardwick's finest fiction, but one of the outstanding contributions to American literature of the last 50 years. And I have to agree with that. These different chapters, like it took me a minute to get into the groove, because I thought, okay, so this is a blending of fact and fiction. There's no like immediate hook to and then a body fill, it's not like that. This is more introspective. This is quiet. I love to use the term quiet. I can't really, it's a quiet, introspective, and yet thoughtful slice of life kind of book. And I meant to mark some chapters to read to you, but unfortunately I didn't do that. But this made me think about my own life and the small, seemingly insignificant things that occur in my life that are not really that insignificant when I go through them and I look back. And that's how I felt about reading Sleepless Nights by Elizabeth Hardwick. And let me just see if I can find there was one part that I really wanted to read and I can't find it. Well, darn. I can't find it, and I'm not going to waste your time. But yes, many thanks to New York Review Books for publishing or printing this version. But yes, Sleepless Nights by Elizabeth Hardwick does receive another 5 pots of excellent tea from Viridian Tea House. Actually, let me read her biography for you. Elizabeth Hardwick, she was born in 1916, died 2007, was born in Lexington, Kentucky, and educated at the University of Kentucky and Columbia University. A recipient of a gold medal from the American Academy of Arts and Letters, she was the author of 3 novels, a biography of Herman Melville, and 4 collections of essays. She was a co-founder and advisory editor of the New York Review of Books and contributed more than 100 reviews, articles, reflections, and letters to the magazine. In addition to Sleepless Nights, New York Review of Books Classics publishes The New York Stories of Elizabeth Hardwick and Seduction and Betrayal, a study of women in literature. So yes, if you are feeling very literary in your reading taste, you cannot go wrong with Sleepless Nights by Elizabeth Hardwick. So to the spirit of Elizabeth Hardwick, I thank you. And many thanks for Denver Public Library for having this book. Thank you. And now the third book is by an author and illustrator that I greatly admire, and I secretly just would love to meet her and just have a slice of cake and drink some tea and just talk to her. I just want to have a normal conversation with her. And this is her newest book too, Still Life with Remorse by Maira Kalman. And if you read The New Yorker, you are familiar with her illustrations. But so basically it's a book about remorse, but it's poetry, flash fiction, short stories, reflections, 2 words, but all about regret and remorse. And I'll just read the back of it for you here. Your family, my family, your remorse, my remorse, all the same, right? Vast skies full of remorse, oceans of remorse, but enough. There should be merriment, excuse me, and good cheer, good tidings, well-wishing, seeing the best, forgiving the worst. If there is remorse, let there be a limit to remorse, a way to shake off the heavy weight. But how can we make this happen? How to do this? So it's like, how do we deal with remorse once it is thrown into our laps? Do we just ignore it? Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. Do we just ignore it? Do we fight it? Do we embrace it and see what lessons we learn along the way? And if you're not familiar with some of her illustrations, let's see if I can find one that's very typical her. Let's see. A lot of these are kind of still lifes, but yes. So this is Maira Kalman. That's a typical illustration of hers. You know, it's just, I love her story. I love her illustrations because the colors they're bright and yet they're muted at the same time. And they do tell a story. And it can be the story that she portrays to you. It can be the story of what you come up with your own mind. But Still Life with Remorse, yeah, well, now I get it. A lot of the pieces are still lives. And the remorse that she feels or has felt or other people have felt. And she transfers that feeling, that essence into the different paintings. So I was so happy to see this at Denver Public Library because anytime she puts out a new book, I immediately get it and devour it and then buy a copy or not, but I just love her work. I truly do. And let me see if I can read something here for you. Let's see. No. Well, yeah, here's a shorter one. This is about Delacroix. Here is my painting of a painting by Delacroix. I cannot claim that I was Delacroix in a past life, but I can't rule it out. Delacroix was friends with Chopin and one of his pallbearers. I can imagine doing that. And here's the illustration to go with it. But it's just something about Maira Kalman's illustrations that's just playful, bright, muted, intellectual, introspective, thinking, thoughtful, philosophical, joyful, sadness, so many emotions rolled into her work. And like I said, I saw this and I had to check it out. So Still Life with Remorse does receive the trifecta, 5 pots of excellent tea from Viridian Tea House. So many thanks to the 3 authors that I reviewed today for their works. And you can find these books through Amazon, through your local bookstore, or going to your library and support the library. So many thanks. So, and in fact, for those of you who are watching who live in the Denver area, I actually reached out to Arapahoe Libraries and Denver Public Libraries for Death in the Aegean. And I was able to get them, I think, into the catalog because I did receive notices that they received the request. So if you want to support the Denver Public Library or Arapahoe Libraries, you can check out Death in the Aegean. So I'm very happy about that. That makes me feel very good. So getting to the tea portion. So like I said, this is a new tea by my company. Say hello to, well, let me start off by telling a story. So I've known this particular artist for many years. We met in Memphis or Nashville and through the sci-fi circuit. And she is one of the biggest names in fantasy art. And I love seeing her posts. I love seeing the art that still comes from this never-ending fountain of creativity that is within this woman. She's so bloody creative and so talented that my muse hit me on the head about 2 weeks ago and said, I think that she would make a great tea blend. And that sounded really macabre, but pieces of her are not in this blend. But I reached out to her and I said, here's what I'm thinking, because I adore you. I love your work. I want to honor you. And long story short, she has her samples of the tea and she loves it. And I said, all right, that's the green light. So say hello to Melissa's World Blend. And this is inspired by the work of Melissa Gay. She is a friend. She's one hell of an artist. And I thought, who better to have a tea blend than Melissa Gay? And this is actually one of her art pieces. I forgot the name of it and I do apologize. The artwork is on the regular size bag, and then her logo is on the sampler size bag. And so we kind of went back and forth about what would reflect her. So the ingredients are white tea, lime peel, and hibiscus. And when she told me what she was looking for, and I said, well, what about this? And she was like, oh my God, yes, that's it. So she received her samplers and she loved them. And you can now buy Melissa's World Blend through my Shopify website, viridianteacompany.com. Or if you happen to see me at an event, I will have bags of this tea at any event coming up and from here on out. Like I said, white tea. So the white tea that I used is a Baimoudan, or known as white peony. A lot of people think that, white tea is, well, no, let me scratch that, rewind that. White tea is the least processed of all teas. And with my white tea blends through my company, I use white peony tea because I just always love the taste of it. Some people claim that there's not a lot of caffeine in white tea, but actually there is a bit of caffeine. It's not going to be as much as a black tea, but there's still going to be caffeine. So whenever I have a customer that says, that they're really sensitive to caffeine, but they want to try the white tea, I tell them there's still caffeine, so you might want to try an herbal tisane or something like that. But I've always noticed that with a white tea, it's very delicate. It's a delicate taste. And I've also learned through just my own trial and error that whenever I oversteep a white tea, I really kind of screw it up. For some reason, it just messes it up for me. Having said that, sometimes I also let my white tea steep for about 4 or 5 minutes just to, I don't know, because I'm just a sucker for punishment. But so I steep this tea for several minutes, and this is the first time I'm actually trying this tea, mostly because I've been sick. So from me to you, a little bit of Melissa's World Blend in honor of Melissa Gay. Oh dear Lord, that's amazing. That is amazing. That is so refreshing, and that actually helps with my cold. But that is very good hot. And as Melissa told me in a message that she's like, oh my God, this is going to be so good, even iced. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to agree with her. I mean, you can't go wrong with lime peel, hibiscus, and white tea. So having this iced, I will probably ice this a lot for farmers markets and other events. But again, the regular bag looks like this, along with her website on the bottom. And then the sampler size bag looks like this. And you can also see the logo at the website as well. And once this video is uploaded to YouTube, I will have the bags of tea for sale through my website, viridianteacompany.com. And I'll also be making posts on social media as well. And I also put some in a glass so you can see the color. So it's not going to be that deep red because, well, you know, you got the white tea and the lime, but no less delicious. This is absolutely refreshing, delicious, and I'm so glad that Melissa Gay loves it. So many thanks. So now, before I send you back to your corners of the universe, let's do a water and tea meditation. If you're new to this, yokoso, bonjour. And we're just going to focus on our breathing. Make sure that you have a cup of your favorite tea or a glass of water nearby, and find yourself in a comfortable position in a room where you will not be disturbed. If you find yourself while meditating thinking about your laundry list and what you're going to cook for dinner, and I can't believe he said that, pause it as if you're pausing the TV. Mentally tell yourself thinking and allow the thought to go on as you return to the breath. It happens through meditation. I've been meditating for many years and it still happens to me. I still get caught up on grocery lists and my World of Warcraft characters and stuff like that. It's like, no, that I have time for that later. Right now, we're just gonna breathe. You know, all of our lives are hecka crazy right now. And sometimes all we need just to reset is just to breathe for just a few seconds. So if you're ready, let's begin. And now let's end this breathing meditation with a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly open your eyes or allow your eyes to come back into focus. And now let's have a sip of your water or tea. That's absolutely delicious. So that's all I have for today. Many thanks to the 3 incredible women authors alive and beyond who gave us such wonderful books, to the wonderful talent of Melissa Gay and her artwork. Please check out her artwork. I'll actually put her website on the video as well. To the good folks at Viridian Tea Company for creating such a wonderful blend. And always, for all of y'all for watching these videos, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. So until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Raise your Snoopy mug high, and remember that to drink tea is to enjoy life. I will see y'all really soon. Bye for now.